I thought I'd show wrapping one of these little festival ball shells with the 1/2 inch gummed craft paper tape. Since this is really the trickiest part of making these little shells. I've got 2 of them made here. They each have some tape on them already. I have cut a paper cup, cut the bottom off of it, so the inside diameter of the bottom is 1.7 inches. That's what I'm shooting for a finished outside diameter of one of these little shells. They start off at about a little less than 1.6 inches OD. So I want about 1/10 of an inch increase in diameter, which is then that results in a thickness of the taping about 1/20th of an inch, a little bit less than a 1/16th of an inch. This shell sits in the cup I could push it through if I wanted to. This shell is still a little small, it goes right through, so I want to add another layer of tape to this shell. So I'll show you how I'm this in a continuous strip method. I'll show you how this is my pull and tear wetting station from the Wasp machine. I'm starting at the right side of the fuse, lapping right up alongside the fuse to create a little bit of a fillet around the fuse. And then I'm going down in a cross pattern to the left side of the I'll call this the bottom of the shell. Now from there I'm crossing back up to the right side of the fuse again. I'm always going to the right side of the fuse and the left side of the bottom. Then going just a little bit to the left of the first strip I put on, I'm lapping over it about 1/2 of an inch. I go back to the left side of the bottom. Now I'm crossing over and I'm lapping over to the right side of the first strip I put on, just a little bit, lapping over about 1/2 inch. About 1/2 of a width to the right side of the fuse. Then I'm going down to the left, just a little bit to the left of that second strip I put on, lapping over about 1/2 of an inch to the bottom. Now I'm crossing over, I'm going to the right of that second strip I put here. So I just keep going back and forth, continuously moving around the shell a little bit, similar to those Chinese taping machines you see. It's all crossing over around the fuse to the right of the fuse and around the bottom to the left of the bottom. And after I cross over to the right of the fuse, I'm lapping to the left of that strip just a little bit, about 1/2 of the width to the bottom. Then I'm going to the right and lapping over about 1/2 of a width. And I'll just repeat that all the way around the shell. This is one of those things, it just takes a little bit of getting a feel of it. I'm going to the left, now to the right of that strip, to the left of the strip a little bit, to the right of that last strip a little bit. You can see it's just creating a pattern going right around the shell. This tape is very thin tape I got somewhere. It's only about 20-pound tape, only about half as thick as 40-pound tape. The 1/2 inch tape that Caleb sells is 40-pound tape, so it would take half as much of that tape as it does of this tape to bring the shell up to the 1.7 inch OD. To the right of the fuse. Now I'm lapping over to the left of that strip, to the left of the bottom. Now I'm lapping to the right of that last strip, and I'm just repeating that all the way around until I've got the whole shell covered, and I'm back to pretty much where I started. I'll tear that off, dampen the last little bit, and finish that off to the left of the bottom, lapping to the right of that last strip, to the right of the fuse, lapping to the left of that last strip, and finishing it off. And I will repeat that no matter what thickness tape I'm using, either this 20-pound or a 40-pound. I wouldn't use a tape thicker than 40-pound. I'll repeat that until I have brought the OD of the shell up to 1.7 inches. That will provide good confinement of the shell, good strength to the shell where it won't blow through upon lift. And this shell, as opposed to the ping pong ball shells, could then be used inside a shell of shells and would survive. Like if I use 12 of these inside a 6-inch shell of shells, they would survive the burst of the 6-inch main shell, go out, and however much timing I have on them would then create a delay, and then the individual shell of shells would burst. So that is now sitting inside the cup bottom, so I know that that has come up to 1.7 inches OD. So that's how I'm applying the tape, just burnishing it down with the end of a Sharpie pen. And this creates a really nice, when this dries overnight, it creates a really nice strong shell. So it's ready to lift and leader.